Good morning, everybody. Oh, it's almost afternoon. It's like 11:30. You know, things are what they are. Um, I'm shaking the thing. All right, so we're back, guys. Thanks for the watches last week, guys. If you want to see part 10 of the Jason Goes to Hell follow-up, it's up on the channel. It's also you can watch all of the pitches under the Friday the 13th pitch. So, just to recap what we've been doing, I also last week talked about You Season 4, both parts, and a little quick review for Last of Us. So check those out too, if you're interested in hearing about my thoughts on those. If you're not, well, that's fine. Anyway, I know I'm doing weird noises like that. So anyway, yeah, I'm wearing this Batman thing again because, well, I had my final physical therapy today for my shoulder injury. Of course, then I also did something to my elbow. So it's like, not necessarily from that, but like I did something where I think I was doing too much of this, and then it's like all of a sudden it was like pain in the elbow. But I'm done with PT, so the healing on the shoulder is, it's sore here and there, but it's sore after the workout, obviously. But no, it was really good. So thanks to them for their awesome physical therapy. I felt like I got a good workout in. I'm going to keep up doing some stuff at home and stuff, the exercises they gave me to do at home. So cool, though. Anyway, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about Adam's life. This isn't about Adam's life, my God. This is about Jason X. Jason X, yes. For those of you who remember Jason X, the ridiculous fun that it was. Basically, after having the rights and doing Jason Goes to Hell, they weren't able to do Freddy vs. Jason yet. So, even though they had obviously teased it with the whole claw coming through. But since they weren't able to do that, they're like, well, let's put him in space. I mean, Leprechaun did it. Why not? Hellraiser did it. Why can't Jason be in space? So they did it. And, it was ridiculous comedy of the year. It definitely had some very tongue-in-cheek moments. And basically had like this... these giggles. They are the non-cancery Skittles, basically. Organic version. You get those from the... we get that produce that you get delivered to the... I've already forgotten what the hell they're called. I don't really give a shit. They're not important. And we're talking about Jason X here. This is important. So, I'm going to stop chomping. I'm going to stop eating these. What? Have I learned nothing about eating on video? Come on, Adam. Get it together. Anyway. So, yes, Jason X. Like I said, ridiculous fun. He gets killed, but then he regenerates into this almost Terminator-esque Jason, which makes him very, very hard to kill. And there's a robot. There's a guy with this creepy relationship with his robot. That's a whole other thing. And yeah, so it ends with basically this sergeant guy diving on Jason and getting him out of the spaceship, and then they basically crash on Earth in the future, way in the future. But it looks like it's basically like near a camp, so basically it's almost like he's back home. But now he's fucking Robo Jason, essentially. So that's a whole nother issue. So I think that's where we're going to pick up, guys. We're going to pick up with Robo Jason. Okay, sorry. Checking text there. Anyway, so yeah, if you recall my Jason Goes to Hell one, or was it that one? No, it was the follow-up to the Manhattan. Remember how he kind of got like mutiny powers from the toxic waste? Well, now we're gonna go in another direction where he's like, got freaking nanotech and shit. He's like freaking Iron Man. So it's like, all right, cool. And now he's gonna kill a whole new generation of camp counselors. Because like I said, this is way in the future. So really, only people who would really be potentially have to deal with them would be our surviving characters. So, which that would be Lexi Doig's character. Doig, I know how to say her name. It's Doig. I'm not sure how to say it, but she played the stepmom on. Well, not the stepmom. She was the mom on Chucky. So anyway, let me me see real quick. Let's remember what her character's name was. There it is. Rowan. So she was one of the survivors, and then there was the robot KM, and I think it was. I don't think it was Dallas. It was a goofy looking dude. I don't remember his name. It's not important. So anyway, they were survivors, and then the Sarge went down with them. So I don't know if he survived or not. Let's just say that maybe they, let's talk about them landing in Camp Crystal Lake. So that's kind of where we left off. Now they didn't make any more after that. Obviously, Freddy vs. Jason came out several years later. So anyway, what we do here, guys, is what I do is I pitch something for, like, let's say they decided to actually follow up on Jason X. Like, okay, we did space, now he's back. So I think, because this has been something that's been done with some fan films and has been pitched as a potential idea, I think not only does he crash into Camp Crystal Lake, but he crashes there during the winter. We're getting Jason in the snow, baby. We're doing it. We're doing it. So really, all these other characters, so like Tommy Jarvis, all them, they're out of the picture. Out of the picture. So we can't use them anymore. Because by this point, it's the future. They're probably dead. Their children might be around. Who knows? You want to go there. But yeah, all new cast of characters other than a couple of the survivors. So we have Rowan, and we have the robot girl, KM, and her scientist / boyfriend, whatever you want to call. So obviously once that happens, they're kind of, I don't know though. I don't think it would have been, the way they ended, they were just trying to get the hell away from it. Then the Sarge was sacrificing himself. But I think it's interesting though, is that maybe they crash too. They think they're getting away, they crash as well, and they survive the crash. But now they're on this big wide scape, very futuristic, but it's woods. Kind of think Cabin in the Woods a little bit. So there's a little bit of higher tech down here too, on this Earth. This Earth where Camp Crystal Lake happens. So Camp Crystal Lake is still fucking there. Believe it or not. It's a bit more advanced now. But it's still fucking there. And now, after the big crashing and flooding to Earth, somehow the Sarge survives too. Because, well, he was a pretty cool character. He kind of had he resembled, it's not the same actor obviously, but he had sort of the same kind of build as Tony Todd. Like he was pretty built, so for that he gets to live, I say, because if you look anything like Tony Todd, you survive in my world, because Tony Todd is awesome, best Candyman ever, really the only Candyman, really, in my opinion. But anyway, we're not talking about Candyman, we're focused on Jason here. So anyway, we have this sergeant character. I'd say they hit the surface. He's definitely going to be damaged. He's obviously, I think he had already gotten stabbed by Jason anyway. It's been a while since I watched that film. But I should really give a rewatch of these sometimes. But anyway, so now we have a bunch of camp counselors. They're at the camp. They're having a good time. It's the future. They're playing on their cell phones. They're doing this. Because it's the future, and that's what people do now. Granted, this probably would have been made back then, which they wouldn't know about all that, but regardless, we're going with technology here. I amazingly have not had any caffeine today, so the fact that I'm just jittery and crazy, I'm just energized, I'm working out and shit. Yeah! And probably these giggles. But regardless, back to me. So yeah, they crash, they're trying to figure out things, they're trying to remember everything. And then, Jason, of course, now Robo Jason, he's very powerful. How are you going to stop Robo Jason? Like, how are you? Like, they really didn't stop him. They just got him out of the goddamn plane. And he might have burned a little bit in the surface, but how are you going to stop him? You really can't. He's got freaking nanotech, guys. So, basically, they're on this new Earth. Not new Earth, but futuristic Earth. And they're looking for stuff because they're like, oh, look, we tried to stop him before, and then he got this nanotech shit. And now he's freaking invincible, basically. You're not going to be able to freaking kill the Jason, because he's got this steel freaking mask now, and he looks fucking badass. So they find the Sarge. He's obviously a bit beat up. So they get him taken care of. And then what they do from there is they come up with a plan. They're like, oh my god, he's killing people more people. He's at the count. He's home now. He's like, I'm freaking home again. And I'm seeing teenagers. And they're doing stuff they're not supposed to do. And I'm a robot basically now, so I'm going to just slice them and dice them. So yeah, we slice them and dice them, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go a little bit more crazy. We got to have a way to kill this guy because there's no way we're gonna let Jason survive for another damn movie. Okay, the next movie he goes to would be Freddy versus Jason. That's the only other movie he can freaking go to. But that's actually before this, technically, in the timeline, which is weird. But whatever, we're in freaking space. So we're not in space this time. So we're not just gonna like Jason Goes to Hell. I did more of them actually going to hell since he didn't really go to hell. We went to space. There's no reason to go back there. So we're not going to do the leprechaun thing. We're not going to go back to the hood after we already were in the hood. You know, go forward, people. So like I said, it's winter. It's really cold. But they find this kind of like government place, and they start saying, "Look, all right, you're a scientist. We got to find something that can stop him or be as invincible as him." And kind of think of like, I think it would be interesting if they had kind of almost like that scene from Aliens when she's in that big crane thing and she's crushing the alien. Now, granted, the alien wasn't made of, steel like Jason, but like similar to that, not a complete ripoff, but influenced by it. Now, what character is going to be going against him? I'd say they would try to upgrade because what's his face? We have a robot already that can face off of them, but she got her head knocked off, so whatever, we can reattach it. So we kind of upgrade her as well. And so we have the robot, we have Robot Jason, we have Robot, and they basically the main thing is, as a team, after he's killed a bunch of teenagers, they're going to say, we're going to stop him, we're going to have a big-ass fight. Some people are going to get injured, but everyone's going to get a little bit of nanotech themselves. They're going to get a little bit of upgrade themselves, and then be able to just take Jason down. They're going to basically just tear him apart, rip him shred from shred, until he is left with nothing, and then his head gets cut off. And they bury his head at the bottom of Crystal Lake, never to be seen again. They bury his body far away. And they also set fire to the grave just to make sure that all that shit's gone. They just cremate the fuck out of him. So Jason is gone. He's dead. Jason X, or I guess it would be Jason 11. 11 in heaven. But yeah, so that would be my follow-up to Jason X. Not the longest video, not the most well thought out, but I mean, it's following Jason X. I would definitely play with the winter themes a lot. Jason in the snow. There'd be, trying to hide from the blizzard. I mean, you're tripping in the blizzard. You're slipping and falling. You're slipping. I'd have somebody slip on their ice and fall on their shoulder like I did. But they don't get physical therapy. They get a knife to the throat instead from Jason. His machete. But that's what I do is I basically. They have a stronger thing, and as a team, they're able to rip him shred from shred. And so his power is gone, and he drowns his head at the big bottom of the lake. So that's how we kill Jason in this one. We basically just go full, like, Terminator route. Terminator versus Terminator, essentially, or RoboCop, or whatever you want to call it. Let's just do that. Why not? We're back in Crystal Lake in the future. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it, people. So cool. That would be my pitch for Jason 11. Please end this series. For the love of God. So cool. That just leaves one more pitch, guys. Because like I said, if you want to see my Freddy vs. Jason follow-up, that's on another video. It's connected with the Nightmare on Elm Street pitches. However, maybe I'll consider doing a alternative to that. But I have the remake to follow up first, though. So I'm going to do the remake pitch first, and then maybe I'll think about doing a Freddy vs. Jason one. Now, after this, guys, that will be the end of the Friday the 13th ones for now. Because obviously the Peacock is going to have a series. There might be some more movies in the future. But that will be the end of the series. Now, like I said, I've talked about what ones I would do next. Continuing, because I'm having fun with these. It's fun. It's easy video to do. So I consider Child's Play, but I also feel like Don Mancini's pretty much been connected since the beginning. So outside the remake that they did, that the other, like Paramount did or whatever, I feel like he's just expounded upon things well. And the Chucky series is great, by the way. We still have to do a review of that, me and Anna. We have to finish one more episode. We didn't get to it last week. Maybe this week. But yeah, that's why I say, like, I don't feel like there's anything I could pitch that hasn't basically already been done with Chucky, really. So they've done a lot. So I'm not going to do Child's Play. I already mentioned my Hellraiser thing because that's just, I've seen 4 movies and the rest really don't matter. Honestly, 3 and 4 don't really matter either. But really the first two are the best ones anyway. But so yeah, I wouldn't really feel it wouldn't feel complete if I didn't do all of them as a follow-up, and a lot of them weren't really set sequels. They just kind of became Hellraiser movies late in the production. So that kind of leaves me with a couple in the air of like what other franchises can I check. So Scream is probably going to be the one I do next, because I think there's ways you can follow up things or change things a little bit, adjust things, whatever the case. That doesn't necessarily mean change the killer, but like it means, how do you follow this up type of thing, or if they had followed this specific, plot line as opposed to going this way. So I think Scream is probably going to be the next one I'll tackle, especially since it's fresh in the thing. I don't know if I'll do the recent ones or not, but maybe. I'll think about it. So yeah, once I finish these Jason videos, which will probably be this week, then I will get on to doing Scream will be our next one. There's not quite as many of the movies, and there's more connected characters that continue, so that's good. But yeah, cool guys, so stay tuned. I will post my pitch for the remake follow-up, and then I will consider maybe, hey, what if I did a Freddy vs. Jason? Because I really just did a Freddy vs. Jason sequel. I didn't necessarily set up, the actual movie where they play out Freddy vs. Jason. But I don't know, I kind of like that movie anyway, so I thought it was pretty good. So cool, guys. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe. Keep building those subscribers, baby. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep on growing the channel. And I'll be back with more. Have a good one.